We're joined now to shed light on this matter, probably not heat, by Mr. Frank Ogunjemite, who is the president of the Africa Association of Professional Freight Forwarders and Logistics of Nigeria. Good morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, good morning, and thanks for having me as well.
Well, there was a lot of expectations for this ministry when it was newly created. It appeared as though some have tanked the expectations now. So even if things are going on, not a lot of people can actually place their finger and say, well, we can thump our chest and say, this is what's happening. You will play in that sector. What's going on?
Well, say thanks to the Honorable Minister, a lot of things has been done, and thanks for the President as well to have created the ministry. You could have seen a kind of revolution in maritime industry. Why did I say that is this? Before now, we do have a Well Frontier taking up a custom job or this, but now we have a Blue Odogo platform which is created by Nigeria for Nigeria. And thanks for CG of Custom who has done that. So the issue of capital repatriation for the country is no more in vogue anymore. So that's one of the things. There you can say about the cabotage vessel fund, which probably we're going to increase the what they call national carrier of the country. The minister as well under the blue and marine economy, that's now evoked. The portal has been opened now that okay, people subscribe on it and they can take up the national carrier. As big as we are in Africa, no, it's limited. We have the foreigners dominate the maritime industry, do a lot of things, unnecessary increments, exploitations. So with the ministry, a lot of things has begun to change, and I think the state will feel the impact very soon as well.
What kind of, in terms of those who were looking to see if that ministry having been created would at least guarantee jobs? We haven't heard anything whatsoever about that.
To be sincere, a lot of things, like the one I told you about the cabotage vessel. Now, if this is properly take shape now, we're going to have a Nigeria's carrier vessel, a lot of things, and it will provide employment. That the freight shipment to Nigeria from China will be reduced. At the moment, we have a high cost of freight from the in and out, and that's...
What was it before? What is it now?
Well, before we used to have about $8,000, $9,000 for 40-feet container from China to Nigeria. But now you can see things is becoming cheaper because they can see that, okay, this is coming on board. You know, any business without competition is not going to be palatable. And however, that's not even limited.
What do you mean competition? From the locals?
Yes,
the
we do have the foreign carriers coming to Nigeria.
Do we have a foothold now?
We haven't it now because with what the minister is trying to do now since last year, now the hope is there, people is optimistic that now things is beginning to have a shape. And we have been feeling the impacts. And not only that, precisely to tell you, the lot of ministry which had not been in operations, they are beginning to jiggle up. Because the minister is, you remember the renewal agendas, they are on it that, okay, let's begin to take shapes. And people are feeling the impacts. And look at the cost of operations.
What impacts are they feeling?
That's what I'm saying. The cost of operations, for instance, we do have a gridlock in the port that it takes you like 3 weeks before you can get your container in and out of the port. But now the gridlock has gone. Most of the extortion for shipping and terminal operator is no more anymore. And these are the body language of the ministers. However, now Nigeria, which is going to be the hub for the West Africa, of course it is with the world government, what we have. But if the minister has not taken shape, and we have the gridlock before you get your port out of your container out of the port, take you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's no more any. And look at what the customer just done now. That okay, time-related studies. They want it to be limited like 2-3 days. You should get your container out of the port. Those are impact of the ministry. And don't forget that the Ministry of Land and Marine, if the leadership is not in shape, all these things will not be improved.
In terms of exports, coordination and organization, can you validly tell us then that if anybody wants to get there and get things done, you can go somewhere and see the steps, the processes you need to take, such that when you fulfill those processes, no one is going to ask you for anything extra? Where can we find that?
Where?
Is that in place or
yes.
not yet?
Well, it's in place.
Where is
to
it?
be honest,
where can we find it?
No, we have a lot of impediments that affect both import and export. But I'm going to dwell on the export like you have come from that perspective. Why I'm saying that, before it's very difficult to go on export. One of the things I told you is Gridlock. And now the Gridlock has gone. So even if you have a perishable good, with short time, you can get it out. Now, in collaboration with the custom processes, the custom has tried to simplify the export process that is more easier for you. You can go. In fact, it's easier. Because don't forget that the custom of today has gone automations. Of course, we still have some hindrances from the agencies.
But the ministry has not. With activities in the sector, they've not.
No, they are trying. For instance, though we do have an issue, but with the national single window being introduced and emphasized by the Ministry of Blue and Marine, I think things will be drastically, in fact, be improved.
Do you, for yourself, since you play in that sector, are you aware of any vision, the plan that the ministry wants to achieve? Because many who are watching from the outside don't seem to have it. They have no idea what's going on.
To be honest, the plan is very obvious for those who are so concerned in that area. Why I'm saying that is that if you used to operate in that sector before and you are now, they don't need to tell you before it's a reflection that things is encouraging. Why am I saying that is that, for instance, the ministry has engaged the NIMASA, they engage the customs, engage all the economic regulators, and they are on their toes. Though for about 2 weeks ago, there are probably to be increments from one of these shipping company, but because we credit to the ministers and the listing, and I'm telling you, there's no more increment. It's been suspended.
All right, Ayo.
Thank you, Chamberlain. You know, I'm interested in an aspect of the blue economy. One of the agencies that's been talking about it significantly is NIMASA, and it's on record that NIMASA claims that Nigeria has lost $1.5 billion to foreign marine insurers in just 3 years. And that's the official statement from NIMASA in March 2025. I mean, just imagine that we could keep that kind of resource in country. It will be significant. It begs the question then why people are wondering whether or not we're serious about doing something to jumpstart Nigeria's blue economy. You say things have been going on, but this one in particular, we're losing a lot. We have hemorrhaged in 3 years $1.5 billion to foreign marine insurers. Is it impossible for us to have marine insurers in Nigeria and keep the money at home?
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, it's possible. And the government, they are on it. The ministers on it, the ministry, they are on it. They've started, they've been back on the process on this. Because this is so disgusting, losing such money to foreigners, capital flights, for God's sake. So they are on this, and that's not even only been limited to the one. It is even being applied to what they call the indemnity insurance for even containers as well. That when you pay deposit to all the foreign company, they don't pay your deposit back, and when they are paying, they pay for 3 or 4 months, holding your money for no reasons. So the government, to be honest, has a back on that, and this is very much in place. And very soon, we will see the results.
Well, the challenge really is we need to see. People need to be persuaded that indeed something is happening. To be honest, people were very, very excited about the fact that, okay, Nigeria now has a frontal effort at recovering resources from the potential that it has in the blue economy. For instance, we understand that Nigeria's blue economy has tremendous resources, tremendous opportunities. Nigeria is said to be eyeing something in the region of $3 trillion in the blue economy. But it's been almost 3 years, and one wonders whether or not, anything is really happening. Is it possible for you to say in specific terms, these are the things that have been done by the minister that you are aware of? You can't hold brief for the minister. These are the things that have been done specifically, and these are the benefits that have come out of it. How much, for instance, has been generated from the blue economy? What are the things Nigeria should be looking forward to? We are in it. It's something we can get from anyone.
Well, I cannot say precisely because I'm not the account guru how much it be generated, but I can tell you that the impact is the impact. And I want to tell you that Rome does not build in a day. And, you know, obviously in that sector in Nigeria, we are having leadership problems. But when you have a leader that has a focus, not only a focus on the interests of the citizens, you begin to feel the impact. And that's why I appreciate that the present government now, they are operating open-door policies. That's where they can engage stakeholders. Of course, they can do better to improve this country. But, you know, when things are God-rooted, it's when things have already been in state of embezzle before these people emerge. And as far as I concern with the industry, I can see there's hope, and then the government will do more. So in terms of the figures, I cannot say precisely, but I think the hope is there. We're optimistic, and I think the government can do better as well.
What are the gaps you have seen that you believe, if blocked, will greatly help to fast-track development in that sector in our economy?
Yeah, one of the things the government has about is infrastructures and then policies. You know, the government needs to embark on holistic policies to reform the industry. Because you do not just only make that policies, you try to enforce the policies. Engage the stakeholders, the ruthless people, the technocrats of the industry, that, okay, what is their view? What is their view on? And then you do not just make that, you begin to check on this policy, are they compliant or what? So with the focus of the government now, because I want to tell you that maritime is a catalyst of any country's economy. That's where you can make one of good money for the country. But if this sector is being neglected, there's going to be an issues. Before the evolutions of all the other minerals, and we have the potential as well. Not only in Nigeria, we can control all the Africas. And don't forget that I was telling somebody in a meeting yesterday, can we assess if ECOWAS is being successful or not? Then we have to look at the success of ECOWAS. Then we have to begin to Africa Free Trade Agreement. So if the government really want to reform this country, the money is there. A lot of things is a maritime to explore.
All right. We'll anchor at that point. Frank Ogonjamite is the president, Africa Association of Professional Freight Forwarders and Logistics of Nigeria. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.